Brittany Miller here, Ultimate Life Coach, and I am just so excited to share some of these secrets with you that I have discovered over my life experience and over how I was able to overcome cycles of darkness and tools that I have gathered and strengthened and brought into my life, and how I have found success with them. So, the number one step, or the number one tool, however you want to look at it, in overcoming cycles of darkness and being able to find light and joy and not being trapped in a weak frame of mind or drowning in the process of trying to find healing is honesty. I believe that our worlds would be different if we spoke the truth. I honestly believe that every aspect of our lives, if we actually engaged in truthful conversation and interacted in honesty, would be made whole, would be full of light and knowledge, and we would be able to overcome and be strengthened and fortified. And so, my number one tool is to always speak the truth. And there are 5 points of power that we really can put everything in our lives and everything that we do into these 5 points of power. And they are body, identity, contributions or business, spirituality or your soul, and relationships. And these 5 points of power really interact with one another and just connect all together to make a whole. And when we find truth in each area and we live that truth and we are honest with ourselves and with those we are in contact with, and when we're honest with different situations that we're in, we actually are able to operate our lives in a sense of power. And as we live our lives in this power, we gain knowledge and we are strengthened and we are fortified. And therefore, by living in a true, honest reality, we are able to overcome the obstacles and the cycles of darkness that we find ourselves in. Now, cycles of darkness can be defined in very, very many different ways. A few cycles of darkness that I have had experience with and that I have found myself living in and have been able to overcome are cycles such as abuse, mental health, depression, suicide, and addiction. And also, I have found myself as a mother and a wife in cycles of darkness of just not feeling enough, being inadequate, and never being able to reach up to the standards that either I am placing on myself or that I feel that others are placing on myself. And those are just not true. Those thoughts and those realities that we put on ourselves are not truth. And if we actually stood back and asked ourselves, honestly, is that true? Is this truth that I am living in? Is this truth that I am speaking to myself? We would be able to answer, no, it's not. It's not truth. It doesn't bring light. It doesn't bring knowledge. It doesn't bring any uplifting or positive consequence. So it can't be truth. Now, truth isn't always in a sense of happy feelings and good vibrations. It doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes truth is hard, and sometimes living that way and living in clear paths and knowing exactly what we are and understanding the clarity that we need in our lives is hard. And sometimes that means that we have hard conversations with people who we love, or with our friends, or with complete strangers. But the whole point is that we get to a point in our lives where we can be truthful, where we can speak the truth, where we know where we are in each area of our life, so we're able to overcome and strengthen and fortify ourselves. And as we do that, as we slowly try this on and we slowly get used to always speaking the truth, telling other people how we feel, telling ourselves how we feel, allowing ourselves to express our emotions without always acting out in our emotions, helps us understand who we are. Honesty brings clarity. Honesty brings direction. So how do we become honest? How do we get clear? Well, that's where I'm going to ask you to do something for me today. What I need you to do is take my PDF that I have created for you and write down, print it off or fill it out in the computer however you want to, but the link is right here. Click on that link and you will find a PDF file with the 5 points of power. And under each one, I want you to write where you are today. Not who you want to be and not who you've been, but where you are today, who you are today in each area of those 5 points of power. And as you work in this worksheet and really be able to get really clear with where you are and where you're standing and how you operate, you are going to honestly have a path, a roadmap, basically, of where you are going to be going. And this is a number one tool and a number one step that we all must take. We have to find out where we stand today, where our actual reality is, so that we know how to get to our tomorrow, so that we know how to find our dreams and make them reality, so that we know how to break these cycles of darkness and overcome the obstacles that we face and overcome the trials that we're given, so that we can rise. So please take my challenge. Please watch this video again and again until you get everything that you can out of it. But please take my challenge. Print off the PDF or fill it out in the computer and get clear with who you are and where you are. And we'll continue tomorrow with our number 2 great tool. But today, it's honesty. Try it on and see how your world will change around you as you become clear with who you are, where you're at, and where you're going, and who you're going to take with you. It is an amazing tool and an amazing experience, and I'm so happy to share it with you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.